This next tune we're going to look at is called Little Black Submarines by the Black Keys. And we're going to do it for acoustic guitar. The whole first half of the song is finger-picked and the latter half is strummed. So we're going to do both, and this is kind of a shortened arrangement for acoustic guitar. And what I'm going to do is, for the fingerstyle part, we're going to use this other camera to focus more on the right hand. The chords are pretty easy. And then during the strummed part, I'm going to be playing bar chords, so we're going to use that camera, same camera, to focus on the left hand. Okay, so like always, let's run through it and then we'll break it down. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little black submarines operator, please put me back on the line. Told my girl I'd be back, operator, please. This is wrecking my mind. Oh, can it be the voices calling me? They get lost in and out of time. I should have seen it glow, but everybody knows that a broken heart is blind. That a broken heart is blind. Let you down when I wanna go to a place I can hide. You know me, I had plans, but they just disappeared to the back of my mind. Oh, can it be the voices calling me? They get lost in and out of time. I should have seen it glow, but everybody knows that a broken heart is blind. That a broken heart is blind. Alright, let's break down this fingerstyle part of Little Black Submarines. And let's start with the intro. And what I'm doing is I'm playing pretty much 4 measures of an A minor chord. So that's what's in my left hand. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first measure, I'm going to hit the bass, then fingers, my first and my middle on strings 2 and 3. So I'm going thumb, fingers. Then I'm going to go thumb 1, thumb 2. All right? So that first measure, bass, fingers, thumb 1, thumb 2. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. First measure, then my second measure, I'm going to start the roll. So I'm not going to put 2 quarter notes in. I'm just going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I've got this little hammer on. So the first half of that measure, I'm going thumb 2, thumb 1. Right? Notice my middle and my first, or 2 and 1, are on the B and G string. Going thumb 2, thumb 1. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up these 2 fingers in my left, and I'm going to play open, open, thumb 1. Then I'm going to hammer on these 2 fingers, and then do thumb 2. Okay, so I've got, even though I'm only playing the note on the G string, I'm still going to lift up both these fingers because it's easier for me. All right? So my whole second measure goes, So far we have 3, 4. Now my next measure, I'm going to go back to quarter notes on the first 2 beats. And I'm going to hit my thumb on the bass. Then these 2 fingers are going to grab strings 1 and 2. Yeah. Then I'm going to do a roll, thumb 1, thumb 2. Back to my original grip there on strings 2 and 3. So that third measure, then the fourth measure is kind of easy. I'm leaving these 2 fingers where they're at, and I'm just rolling through the whole measure. Thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, thumb 2. But in my left hand, I'm going to take off the first fret on the B string for the last note. So 3 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah. Let's try this whole intro real slow. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's your 4-measure intro. Now when we get into the verse, it's kind of a similar deal, but I'm usually playing this rhythm. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. So that first measure, I'm on my A for the verse section, and I'm going to do bass, fingers, thumb 2, thumb 2. Oops, thumb 2, thumb 2. Right? So I'm kind of quoting the melody. Little black, right? By letting off that B string with my first finger. So bass, fingers, thumb 2, thumb 2. Yep, letting that last note be the open B. Now I'm going to go to my G chord, and I'm going to hit the bass with my thumb, and then I'm going to pinch the D and the B string with my thumb and middle. Right? So I've got bass, pinch. I'm going to do a similar thing as before on the first measure. Thumb 2, thumb 2. It's that whole measure. Bass, pinch, thumb 2, thumb 2. Good. So far I have this in the verse. Now I'm going to go to my D chord, and then that's my phrase there. So I'm moving my right hand down towards my feet to where my first and middle finger are on strings 1 and 2. And my thumb is playing off the open D, or the bass. So I do bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb 1, open with the B string. So bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb open. Real slow. So I'm always kind of leaving an open note on the end of the D chords and the A chords in this song. Now I go to my A, and I'm going to do the same thing as I've started out with all these chords, bass, pinch. So bass with my A on, with my thumb on the A, pinch on strings 2 and 4. Then I'm going to roll thumb 1, thumb open. And that last open I'm going to play with my first, bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb open. Yeah, right. Okay, so far, first 4 measures sound like this. 3, 4. Right. Now I go back to my A minor, same phrase as before. And I can either do the same phrase as I did last time on the G, or I can mix it up a little bit and do a bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb 2, where the second half I'm doing bass, then 1 on the G, thumb on the D, 2 on the B. Right? Bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb 2. Yep. Now I got my A chord and I've got 2 measures of A, and I'm going to do a similar line as before. Bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb 2, and my middle and my first are on strings 2 and 3 for that roll. And now this last one, I'm going to put the high E in. So I'm going to go thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, thumb open, that last open with my first. Right, so it sounds like this. Both those last 2 measures of A in the verse sound like this. Yeah. Here's that whole verse, and it repeats twice, but here it is. 3, 4. That's how you do your verse section. Now, do you have to keep it verbatim like that? No, definitely not. But if you keep that same structure, bass, pitch, roll, bass, pitch, roll, right? You're going to be able to vary it as much as you want as long as you keep a similar rhythm to that. Now, when we get into the chorus, it's a similar deal as far as starting off. I got that A minor. And we've seen this lick before, right? Same thing as the first measure in the verse, then the G. I'm going to use that variation, bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb 2. Same thing with the D. Then your A. Now this is a little bit different. I'm going to do a bass, pinch. Then I'm going to take off my A chord and I'm going to do open strings, thumb 1, thumb on the A, 1 on the G string or 3rd string, then 2, 0, right? And I'm going to grab that 2 with my middle in my left hand. So I'm walking up to the C chord. So in context it sounds like this. Oops, I'm going to use my middle. So that's my walk into that C. When I grab my C chord, right from that walk in, it's just like how I would normally. I'm going to do a bass on the A string, then pinch on string 2 and 4. And then I'm going to do another roll, thumb 1, thumb 2, and let go of 1, or 1 on the B, or you can leave it on. Either way is cool. Then you're to your D chord, just like how we've been doing it. Then your A, how we've been doing it. And whenever that second measure of A comes in, I'm going to include the high E string in the phrase. Thumb, thumb, two, thumb, two, thumb. And maybe end with an open B or an open G in that phrase. Right, so the whole chorus sounds like this. 3, 4. And then I'm just repeating that phrase over again, right? So back to A minor, to G, to D, to A, to C. Oops, I forgot to do the walk into the C, to D, to A. Now at the end, it tags that line. That a broken heart is blind. That a broken heart is blind. I'm just going to double up the A's at the end. So instead of doing 2 of them, I'm going to do 4 measures of A, right? And I can pretty much do whatever I want there within reason. I can do bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, thumb 2, bass, pinch, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, thumb. Maybe that last one I'll include some open notes in the last bit in order to get back into the verse. Okay? So let's do just the second half of the chorus. 3, 4. I should have seen it grow, but everybody knows that a broken heart is blind. That a broken heart is blind. Alright, so that's how you finger pick the beginning or the first half of Little Black Submarines. Alright, now let's break down what happens when it starts to rock a little more and it's no longer finger style. We're strumming those bar chords, right? And pretty much we're just strumming the same chords as the verse and chorus in the finger picking section, but we're doing it with bar chords. Okay, so my first bar chord is A minor, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bar across the 5th fret, right, and my E string is going to be the root. So I'm going to put a minor shape in front of that, right, just 2 fingers on, let's see, strings 5 and 4, 1 fret away from the bar with my ring and pinky. So that's my A minor. My G bar chord is here, a step down, but I got to put my middle finger down to make sure that's major, right? Then my D chord is here, 5th fret is the root on the A string. I got to put an A shape in front of it, right? There's my D major chord. Then back to my A major. And so A major is the same as A minor, but I got to put down my middle finger. So those are the only chords for the verse section. Now if I put those chords together into the verse, they sound like this. 3, 4, A, 2, a G, E, M, 4, D, 2, a A, E, M, 4, A minor, 2, a G, E, M, 4, A, 2, A minor, 2, a G, E, M, 4, D, 2, a A, 4, A minor, 2, a G, E, M, 4, and A, 2, a E, M, 4. Now my strum pattern, I'm going down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 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 So that's how I count and strum that section there. When it gets to the chorus, I'm just doing the same thing, using bar chords to cover the chorus chords. So right, I got A minor to A minor to G to D to A, C. So that's a new chord there. And what I'm doing is I'm just using an A-shaped bar chord, A root. So there's my C off the A string, and putting that major shape in front of it, C to a D, E, M, 4, A, 2, 3. Here it is again, A minor to a G, E, M, 4, D to a A, E, M, 4, to C, to D, back to A. Similar strum pattern, right? Now, for the ending, I'm just going to do some basic hits on the verse progression. I'm going to go A, G, to D, to A minor, G, to A. Let me do that again. A minor, to G, to D, back to A minor, to G, to A. So since I don't have a drummer, I'm trying to mimic that snare hit on beat 2. So I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 right? And what I'm doing is, when I do that snare hit, I'm just muffling with my left hand, right? So I get this kind of, well, snare drum sound, if you will. All right, well, that's all the parts to Little Black Submarines. You got the fingerstyle part and the strumming part. All right, so have a good time with this one.